Around the SEC, brought to you by Precision Chemical and Equipment. Come check out our selection of Exmark, Yazoo keys, and Dixon zero-turn radius mowers, located 1/2 mile south of Siegen on Airline Highway. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia freshman outside linebacker Ray Drew sprained his right shoulder in, wait for it, a scooter accident. He was injured on his way home from church Sunday. He's day-to-day for returning to practice. He was rated as the second-best defensive end, the number 13 prospect overall in the 2011 recruiting class by ESPN. Drew is Georgia's second highly touted freshman to suffer an injury the last few days. Running back Isaiah Crowell was held out of practice Friday and Saturday with a strained groin.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Well, we're receiving word on who's going to be replacing Niall Davis after his knee injury last week. At the moment, it sounds like two Arkansas running backs, Dennis Johnson and Ronnie Wingo Jr., are going to carry the load for the Razorbacks this year. But Bobby Petrino's been down this road before, if you remember. In 2006, Michael Bush at Louisville was a Heisman candidate, suffered a season-ending injury in the opener against Kentucky. Bobby Petrino turned to a 4-running back attack to combine for 2,000 yards and 27 touchdowns, hoping for the same fate this year in Fayetteville.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
The Alabama football team is on the practice field today for the first of 2 practices. That was this morning, working outside in full pads. Nick Saban said he was not happy with the running game in the scrimmage over the weekend, blamed it on an unsettled offensive line. Today, Barrett Jones was back at left tackle after spending a few practices last week at center. Still no Daron Carter or Danny Woodson at wide receiver. The former expected to join his team later this week, probably later rather than sooner. Alabama practices again at 7:30 this evening.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Well, Saturday was 2-a-days for Mississippi State, and Dan Mullen was very displeased. Said, quote, "I'm disappointed today. We have a lot of guys feeling sorry for themselves because it's hot and they're tired. We have to play much harder. The expectation I have for my guys is way higher than I saw today. We expect to win the West, but what we gave today is not going to get it done," end quote. We'll give you more updates at Mississippi State and if things get better.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn practiced late into Sunday night after an afternoon fan day at Auburn Arena. Gene Chizik says there's been no movement in the race involving Barrett Trotter, Clint Mosley, Kyle Frazier. Quote, "We don't have any separation. We're going to decide who the quarterback is at the right time." Meanwhile, Gene Chizik's review of Saturday's scrimmage had the quarterbacks doing, quote, "some nice things." Not very, very appealing if you're an Auburn quarterback. No injury updates on Mike Dyer, Sammy Coates, or offensive lineman A.J. Green.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
And how about we wrap it up with one basketball note? John Jenkins from Vandy is on the U.S. Men's World University Games team, and they're playing in China. It played yesterday against Hungary, and John Jenkins set a U.S. Men's World University Games record with 6 3-pointers, finished with 20 points on 6 of 10 shooting from three-point range in just 16 minutes. The previous record of 5 was held by Juan Dixon and Matt Santangelo. The U.S. plays South Korea at 2:30 today. There you have it. That is Around the SEC.